What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MULN stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on a price chart and how we get there. Then I will continue with the fundamental news that might drive the price of this asset. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this point, right before the last trading session that happened last Thursday, and I have to say that this asset found decent support at around 10 cents price point, and the last session also showed us that we have this range as the range of support. And on my previous video I've told you that despite its extremely risky nature, you can add your short-term long position with this asset with anticipation that this asset might hit several crucial points. First of all, definitely it can hit this range, and as you can see on the 4 hours time frame, we had very harsh rejection with this candle. It has a quite decent, I have to say that very good volume. And then it was rejected, and this was a bearish sign, and that is why this might be the first range, the first price target. Second might be the highest point of this week. It is a 67%, and first range is about 35%. And third point, third range of resistance might be at 0.236 Fibonacci retracement level. If I pull this tool from its swing high to swing low, and it is about 75.46%. So we are still at the same spot, but in my technical analysis I will show you that we have more risks on the table, and I will show you them in my fundamental analysis. So let me show you first of all this news that was published 2 days ago on Investor Place, and it's titled "MULN Stock, don't get too excited by Mullen's recent deliveries." And let me go to the bullets. A recent delivery milestone has cast Mullen Automotive stock in a positive light. However, this doesn't mean investors should rush into the troubled meme stock. It's essential to see the bigger picture. The cons far outweigh the pros with Mullen. And the main idea of this article is that despite of these first deliveries, we can only assume that they can deliver more vehicles, because in general they don't have money to produce these vehicles, and the only way how this company can receive these vehicles from Chinese manufacturers is the buying, just pure buying from them, deliver these vehicles to the United States territory, and then resell it to other companies. That is not the best choice for the so-called automotive manufacturer, but it is just action of an ordinary dealer or reseller of these vehicles. That is why it is not this company basically is not the auto manufacturer, it is just a reseller. And let me show you that it is not the best reseller in general. Let me show you this example. It is a Mullen iGo vehicle, and in December they stated that these vehicles should be ready for delivering in December 2022. So we are in the middle of April, and we are at 5 months since this announcement was made, and we don't have any news that these vehicles were delivered or sold. And with the price of this vehicle just under $12,000, imagine how big the margin in this vehicle. I don't think that it might be bigger, more than $1,000, and this means even this tiny amount of the money they cannot receive because they didn't sell any vehicles. So let me show you another article that is quite interesting in my opinion. It was published on Seeking Alpha on April the 6th, and it says the Mullen Snail Express deliveries have commenced, but sustainability is in question. And the summary of this article is following. Mullen lacks the innovative drive necessary to compete in the cutthroat EV market. The companies fully assembled in the US vehicles depend heavily on Chinese tech and design. The acquisition of electric last mile solutions brought AP assets for class 1 and 3 vans. However, The nature of Mullen's relationship with the original patent assignees is unclear. And the main idea of this article is that this article stated that the Mullen Automotive cannot produce any vehicles, they can just resell it. And Mullen Automotive stated that they have a lot of patents in their portfolio, but all of these patents doesn't relate to the mechanical parts. It is just design patents, and you can find it right here. And all the links on these patents you also can find right here in this article. Also, they have several patents from the Bollinger Motors, and they have more technical patents, as I have to say. But in general, this company stated that their intellectual property is very valuable. But I have to say that it is not the case. And that is another potential red flag for this company to invest in it in a long-term perspective. On top of that, let me show you that recently they filed on April the 4th, filed an 8K form. And this 8K form shows just two main ideas. First of all, they want to issue Series D preferred stock and warrants and receive $90 million. Previously, they stated almost the same amount, and they wanted to receive this money by September 19th, 2022 and November 15th, 2022. And they failed to do it on November, and that is why they are still experiencing a lack of financing. And that is why they announced this issuance. So it might be quite decent news in the very short-term perspective, because if they will have this 90 million on their balance sheet, it will slightly improve their position, and it will give them some time to operate. But in general, all of the preferred stock and warrants might be convertible to the ordinary stocks, and this will dilute existing shareholders, and this will lead to lower prices of the stock. On top of that, the second part is stated that they want to receive another additional loan of $20 million, and it also might be quite decent in the short-term perspective, but in the long run it is not the good choice for the company to collect this type of short-term but extremely expensive loans. This means it is another red flag, and that is why I don't suggest you to invest in this asset. On top of that, let me show you that recently David Michery published several tweets, basically two of them. On April the 6th, he retweeted the Mullen Automotive tweet, and I have to say that they just stated that their Mullen EV1 cargo van will be at the same day, on April the 6th, on the San Diego exhibition. And it is not the case when the company is preparing for this type of exhibitions. Definitely they should do it long before the exhibition date. They should announce this participation. But this statement shows that they were not ready to this exhibition, and it is also not a good sign. On top of that, the latest repost of this tweet made by David Michery, let me show it to you in details. David Michery restricted to do any follows or replies on this tweet, and this means he don't want to see the negative replies, and he don't want to see any allegations that a lot of people wrote in the comment section. That is why I think this company is going to file a bankruptcy in a medium-term perspective. But in the short-term perspective, and let's continue with the technical analysis, we still have this possibility from the technical standpoint. On top of that, if I switch to 5 minutes time frame, and I will show you the latest price action on Thursday, as you can see, right before the bell, we have this increase in price of Mullen for about 1.63%. And from the technical standpoint, it is quite decent sign that we might see the trend continuation. But in general, I don't think that this trend might last for a long time. This means my previous setup that we have quite low downside potential of about 10% and extremely high upside potential of about 70 or even 30%. This means risk to reward ratio becomes 3 to 1. I have a lot of doubts that this setup might be successful. That is why just stay cautious, and if you don't know how to handle properly, how to manage your position, do not enter any of the positions with money, with Mullen, because in the long term you will lose your money and nothing will change it fundamentally. So I think from the technical standpoint that's it for now. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack.